Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lechtich Moshe. We continue with the Pele Yoeitz. We're on page 583 in the art scroll, day 210 in Hachzik. Hakpada he told the Hagaiva. Now we begin with Hakpada, becoming upset with others, and we learn that Hakpada, being upset with others, is a told of Gaiva, of haughtiness. A person can think that there's something called haughtiness, and then there's upset. He says it's one thing. And it destroys both body and soul. If a person can become upset, that's the shirish of Ra, because then you become upset, and then you come to lashon hara and hatred and machlokes. And a person who gets upset with others, Hashem acts the same way. It says the Pele Yoeitz that a person can say, wait, what do you mean? It's not fair. It's genetic, DNA, hereditary. A person could say that, there's some people that are very well-tempered, they're very calm, they're very balanced, but there's some people that they're hotheads because that's how their parents were and their grandparents. So how can you judge? How can we say that it's something you can work on, something you can fix? A person who isn't temperamental, a person who is very calm always, a person who has ishtavas, equanimity, that's a matana, but it's not inborn. It says no, that's a mistake. When it comes to Torah, when it comes to Yid, when it comes to Neshama, yes, there is such thing of Teva, there is such thing as things that are innate, that are natural, that are given over, hereditary DNA, but B'nai Torah, we are the chosen nation, we're the Am HaNivchar, and we're different. A person, even though we have natural leanings towards particular negative characteristics, but we always have to know that we, as Yidden, Tzelem Elokim, we have the power to overcome these tendencies. When we work on ourselves, when we are reflective, and when we learn Musar, you ask a non-Jew, you ask a person who's not worked on. If you're an angry person, he says, yeah, I'm angry and there's nothing I can do. My mother was angry, my grandmother's angry, my great-grandmother's angry, everyone's angry. What can I do? He knows that's false news. Never happened. We have the power. We have the koyach to overcome when we work on ourselves with musar. Yesh koyach biyadai lahachlif midoisav rabetov. You can take any midah, work on it. Yes, there's famous literature, the Gidei Musar, right? It's easier to finish Shas many, many times than to come to wholesomeness in one midah. That's true. But nevertheless, we can work, we can change, we can improve over time. To turn away from the snares of death and adhere to the path of life. The choice, as always, it's bechira, it's in our hands. And when we work on the midas, when we work on ourselves, anything can change, and we can ultimately grant ourselves, we can lock in to Chaim, not just in this world, but in the next world as well. A person must be extremely vigilant not to get upset with his wife or the people in his house, his children, or even his misharsim, the maids. The Torah stands very close and doubles down that he should become angry and upset with people in his house. He should become very gecheshbin and get upset over any small thing. He should think, I'm no different, I'm no better. Everyone comes from the same basar v'dam. We're all coming from the same place. We're all going to the same place. And therefore, who am I to be better? Who am I to be so makbid on every small thing? And even though we spoke of the ills of becoming upset, there are times a person should get upset, and that's when it comes to the honor of our friend. We have to be so careful. Even the smallest thing, we should never make our friends upset. We see a person has to be careful not to cause even the smallest amount of anger, of embarrassment, of distress to a friend, because Hashem takes into account those things very, very strongly. And if we think about how much we have to be mindful about others, about Basar V'Dam, all the more so for the Eibishter. Last is Kol Asher B'Koiche Mitzvahs U'Maisem Tovim U'Milidei Chasadusa, to do whatever we can, any sort of mitzvah, righteousness, pious acts. Last is Nachas Ruach Le'etzenu. We're here. We're put in this world to bring him Nachas Ruach. Kirvus Hadakim L'Toiv. Last is Nachas Ruach Le'etzenu. V'Livrach Min Ha'avera. V'Lavra D'Ktuke Mitzvahs. Ki Gado Kvoidei V'Gado Chavetzenu Adin Cheker V'Lavra B'Chol Navshenu B'Chol V'Venu. It's our job. It's our duty in this world to bring a Kadosh Baruch Hu honor and greatness. Last is Nachas Ruach Le'etzenu. Shum Tsar V'Chas V'Gam L'Malach V'Chas. Asher ish yoreis Hashem, praiseworthy is the man who fears Hashem. Yeir mishnasav le'yonirdam, he will use these contemplations to awaken from his slumber. Kizeh kol adam, for this is man's whole duty.